Some days I'm content to stay at home. Other days I get restless. I can stand to be alone. So you have this duality in you.
Definitely, yeah. Conflicted. That's me.
Have you always been like this, or is it something? Or is it more?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember, I'd go into a store with my mom, and I'd see something that I wanted, and so I'd say, "Mom, can I get this?" And she might, say no, and I'd beg and I'd scream, "Please, I really want this. I need this. I really need this." And then, if she said yes in the end, I would get this. I mean, a lot. Invariably, I'd have this feeling like, oh, well, maybe I don't need this. I mean, like,
did you feel guilty, or
maybe it was guilt, yeah, or sort of right, like getting my way, or that I had, yeah, that I, I would think like, well, someday I'm really not going to have any use for this anymore, and this, I'll grow out of this, whatever it is, this toy or whatever, and I would just go, I would go through it, I would see it in my mind till the end, already, and then I wouldn't want it anymore. So I'd put it away, and she'd say, "Where's your thing?" And I'd say, "I don't need it, I don't want it."
Or is there also maybe something, longing for something you don't have?
Yeah, and always thinking, this record is a lot, my record, I think deals with that a lot, just the grass is always greener, and, indecision, and, I think I have a real sort of fear of making choices, sticking with a decision, committing to something,
But when did you choose to be a musician then? Because that's something that...
Well, it's funny, it's funny that you should mention it, because I I put myself in the position where I might be found out, but I didn't try very hard for it. Like, I didn't decide. In fact, I was painting, speaking of conflict, I was painting and also playing music at the time. Since I was young, that's what I did. I painted and I played music, and I was never sure which I wanted to do or which I was better at, or,
So you let fate decide?
I did, yeah. I guess I decided in so much as I moved to LA, and I decided that much. I said, all right, well, I'll go to LA. And of course, I didn't think I was going to paint. I didn't bring my paints with me. I brought my guitar. So, it was never just, it wasn't a real conscious thing, And then, the record deal that I got with Virgin really kind of almost fell into my lap. I didn't go to the offices and, campaign, or I didn't send my demo in or anything like that.
So what do you think then? So, well, this is what I have to do? Or
yeah, I'm glad about it. I think that it happened all for a good reason.
And because
I just can't say that I really tried for it, and I'm not I'm not proud of that either. I think there's something really sort of there definitely is something I admire so much when someone can just make a decision, like to get married, or to ask their girlfriend to marry them, and then it's like something I can't even fathom, that, like making that sort of choice,
But how do you decide that on a song?
It's just, I guess, I don't know. I don't take them so seriously, the songs. I don't take them. I don't think of it so seriously. I think as other people do. Think of music and my songs too.
But when I overheard the three of you talking about a song you have to do on a television show.
Well, right.
You're really serious.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes I'll have my mind made up about something, yeah. But, yeah, well, it's funny. I thought about that one today, actually. I thought about this show that we're going to do, you know, that we would be expected to do Spit It Out, and I just thought, like, it just came to me. It was clear to me. I don't know. Yeah, it was. Sometimes it happens that it's like, you know, everything just all makes sense. Like, we shouldn't do that. We should do this other song, and I'm gonna stand by that. You know, or at least I'm gonna really try to convince, you know, the people who don't agree. You know.
Yeah, but it's, in the end, it's you.
Right. That's the scary part.
Okay. Let me see another one. Okay, this is following up to.
Can I grab?
Yeah, just do it. The first follow up to Between Us. Biggest fan. I want my piece. I want my slice. Beat up punk rock paradise.
That's great. That's one of my favorite lyrics, I think, actually.
I like, me too.
No idea what it means.
No? Okay.
Not at all. But I do like the way punk rock paradise sounds.
And also beat up.
Beat up, yeah. Well, I just needed some more syllables in there, I think. But mainly, it was punk rock paradise just came to my mind, and I thought, that's strange. Like, why would, you know, I'm not sure what that means, or why it came into, to mind, but I like it. It's something, you know, I think there should be a word for when you sort of understand something, when you really comprehend something, but you can't.
Intuition?
Well, but you can't describe it. You can't explain it. You can't say why. You can say, you know, like, I get it, but I can't explain it to you. You know what I mean? Like, what is it?
Subconscious? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe in my subconscious, I've worked it out. But I think there might have been a Todd Rundgren record that I think there is a word that means this, and I think Todd Rundgren had a record called whatever it is, you know. But that was, I think, punk rock paradise is just I don't know, that kind of, like, you know, punk rock is no longer, it's not very it's just real, you know, it's not punk anymore. It's just kind of a fashion, or kind of commercialized and all that, and a style more, and so I think that's what that means a little bit, you know, kind of the perfect kind of, I don't know, a perfect you know, punk rock aesthetic or something. I don't know.
And I think maybe punk is now more or less only labeled upon the music, not on the attitude anymore.
Right. It's not. Yeah. It's not how much. It's not a lifestyle really anymore.
No.
It's just a brand of music.
Okay. Well, there are some songs about a relationship, but let me switch to the other ones. Well, this was the one I think is also something that has something to deal with the things we're talking about now. Spit it out. Looks like the time is running out now, so spit it out now. I was thinking of something that was you saying to you, spit it out.
Yeah.
Your music, spit it out and do it.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think I struggle a lot of times with what it is I'm trying to say. You know, I mean, I'm not always sure, or if I have anything to say, really. But I think that, and I think also I think I might be sort of jaded. I think I've become sort of jaded, and it gets harder. It's harder for me now to write music and to say things and just to speak just from a real honest place. I mean, just to I don't know, just maybe, I don't know if that comes with age and fear. You know, fearful that, you know, people might think it's, you know, it's stupid, or it's.
What is your age now exactly?
I'm 34.
34.
You know, so, yeah, I don't know. I learned that's something maybe I picked up. I lived in LA, and I think that's when I started to get sort of jaded and cynical and kind of like, you know, I thought it was like, it took so much to impress me, and, you know, like, you know, I didn't think, I wasn't, you know, I don't know. Sorry, again, it's just hard for me to explain. I think that's why I write music, is because I can't.
Do you have, let's say, a specific moment in LA when you were first aware of that jade? You were jaded or becoming jaded?
No, but I had a friend. There was no moment for me, but I had a friend who was, I thought, really kind of jaded, and at the time, I didn't think I was, and I thought, God, I wonder if, this is sort of going to rub off on me, if this is, it's like, because he's so opinionated, and he's got like so many, and it makes, and I was convinced a lot of the time too by him, and so I thought, but at the same time I thought, but he, he's also kind of negative about a lot of things, closed-minded, and that's not right. But no, I think maybe that was just the time I noticed, like, kind of, my thought process, I guess, sort of.
But has it also something to do with, I think people who are becoming more jaded, or maybe, let's say, they don't have fulfilled their own dreams they had, let's say, a few years ago, or not?
Maybe like they failed or something.
Yeah.
Not always.
Well,
sometimes you can, maybe
too hard.
Maybe, and they justify it by saying, well, these people, people don't understand what's cool, or they don't know that this is really cool. That's probably, I'm sure that's where it comes from. And maybe that's where it started for me. My first record didn't do very well, and I mean, maybe I got sort of like, I thought, all right, well, that's one way of, I can insulate myself in that way. Like, I don't have to feel too badly about it, because these people don't know what they're, they don't recognize something, good when they see it or hear it, Yeah, it's just stupid.
And how did you feel then after the second record?
I felt better, less jaded, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's something that I'll always kind of have to. It's like a, it's like a chronic, or it's like a, it's dormant. It might be dormant, but it's never completely gone, And it's something that I have to, that I deal with. Like I say, when I'm writing songs, it's especially hard. I'm editing myself. I think, well, I don't want to say that. It's too, that doesn't sound cool, or that's not. Whatever, I don't know, but when in fact this is what I want to say, and I don't know, getting back to the spit it out thing, I think that was it. I had this song, and actually didn't have a chorus, and I didn't have words for a chorus. I had tons of lyrics for the verses and all that, and then it occurred to me, well, and I was thinking, like, well, what am I saying here? What am I saying? And I don't think I ever really figured out what I was saying, but I like the idea of, just spit it out. Whatever you're saying, spit it out. All right, well, there it is right there. There's the chorus. Spit it out, Time's ticking, man. Just say it, or whatever, So I never actually say it, and that's pretty classic of me, I think, because I got another song that's like Metairie, on another record that's, the chorus is, there's something I've been meaning to say to you. There's something I've been meaning to say to you. And I never say it. Whatever it is,
Same thing.
Yeah.
What I'm looking for. Well, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know that I just want to look somewhere.
Right. I just don't have it figured out. I haven't figured it all out yet.
But maybe
I never. I don't. I don't care. I don't care that I haven't. I mean, I don't know if there's anything to figure out, but I think the questions and the just the is good enough, I mean.
Yeah. But I think sometimes people, well, it's the same thing when you say, well, you want to go to a point, or you want to fulfill something, but it's the ride there.
Process,
that has to be good, but people often forget it.
Right.
I think when I have that big swimming pool, and then they have the big swimming pool, and think, well, it's this.
Yeah, I think about that. I mean, I'm guilty of that too. Thinking, well, someday, my ship will come in.
But are you happy now with the way things are going?
I am. I'm really happy. Yeah. I mean, that's just it. When I think about it, I think when my ship comes in, then I'll settle down. I'll have, I'll get married and have kids or whatever. But but then I think, well, wait a second. I mean, why couldn't I do that now? Or not so much marriage and kids, but but just waiting to arrive, and
the feeling of settling down, maybe.
Yeah, right. Like I can relax at some point, or something when I'm really enjoying myself. It's
Okay. I was wondering, do you still know the first time when you wrote a song?
Oh, I'm sorry. What do I?
Do you still know the first time?
Do I remember the first song I ever wrote?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. There was two. I used to, when I was in high school, I played in some punk bands, and I wrote the music, and I would write. Actually, yeah, because I wrote one of the songs. I wrote the music and the words, and it's not worth mentioning now. I mean, it was really just sort of a. I mean, it seems really silly to me now, but the first song I wrote, like I guess as a solo artist, I mean, I was in a band and I was writing for the band, But when I was writing just on my own in my bedroom and stuff, I do remember the first song. It was about a girl, surprise. It was called Less and Less, and her name was Leslie, and I thought that was pretty clever,
Yeah.
And I used to call her Les, and it was just about breaking up with her, I guess, and that the feelings kind of, the strong feelings that I had for her, sort of subsiding or kind of going away. Each day I was getting better every day and all that. Yeah, it was a pretty dumb song.
No, but and the first time when you actually picked up a guitar, because
I think it was.
Were you young or were you?
Yeah, I was pretty young. I have this really vague memory of.
And why did you pick it up?
It was there. I think I picked. It was at my. I was like visiting my aunt and uncle in Massachusetts or something. My family was. I was there just along for the ride, and one of my cousins, I think, had a guitar. She was older and she played in a band, I think, at the time. And there was an acoustic guitar there, and I picked it up and somebody showed me how to play a power chord or like a really uneasy chord or something. And so, yeah, and I played, and I figured out, well, I sort of could play Wild Thing, and that was it. I don't know. I mean, I don't remember having any sort of like, big breakthrough or anything.
Well, it could be.
But yeah, for some reason I wanted to buy a guitar. I mean, I wanted, to learn guitar. But it was years later, actually, when I asked for a guitar. I was like,
so
13 or 14 or something.
So actually more in high school you got more serious?
Yeah, that's when I sort of got, like, really sort of interested. I mean...
Okay. Can I pick another song on the line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a pretty dark one. Gold into Straw. I'm chiseling this epitaph on a stone that I found. Who is the song about?
About a friend of mine.
Who you really...
Yeah, I mean, we were just really close. In fact, it's kind of about a couple of friends, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had fallen out, I mean, just sort of for really no, or well...
Well, you don't have to get into detail.
Yeah, whatever, for whatever reason. And that's really it, just kind of a...
Well, because I think this line really stands out across the other songs, because this is really, I think, darker than the rest. The rest is some kind of optimism or melancholy. This one is really darker, I thought.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right. I mean, well, it's sort of about like a funeral, isn't it? I mean, yeah. That's actually the oldest song on the record too. I don't know why. What if. I mean, that's just one sort of. And the only thing that I think about when I if asked about that song, otherwise I don't know what to say except I think it was about like sort of breaking up with a friend,
And then I have to ask the question, Flesh and Bone, you're with me all the time, now you're out of sight and out of mind. Are there songs about breaking up about one girl? Or?
No. And they're not always about girls either, too, you know, I think, I mean, you know, I think I write, I think I use sort of men and women, the relationships between men and women, which I find, it's just, I'm always thinking about that, I guess, you know, but,
how come?
Well, I'm not always, I don't know, I'm kind of obsessed with, I don't know, finding, you know, that woman, that, I don't know, like a wife, you know, or whatever. Not obsessed, but you know, I want that, just like everyone else, I guess. But, I don't know, anyhow, for this purpose, I guess, you know, that song, that one was about a particular woman that I'd been with for 8 years, actually. It was a tough one, you know.
Leslie?
No, this was Emma. Different girl.
Okay. Can I have some normal questions? Because I was told I
Sure.
had a few minutes. Do you feel like John Lennon?
No. I wish, you know.
Because there was some songline in your
right.
film, and your girlfriend said, "Well, you're not John Lennon."
Not John Lennon, yeah. Yeah, well, I think, you know, I suppose in my, you know, in complete secrecy at times, I might think that, you know, but it's almost just like it's a way to kind of gain some advantage or, you know, carry on. Give yourself.
What does he symbolize for you?
I think he's probably one of the best songwriters that ever lived, you know.
What is his really? He has made a lot of standout tracks, but
yeah.
What is the thing?
Oh man.
What do you like? His post-Beatles stuff or his Beatles stuff?
I like them both. I like it all. I really do. I just think he's kind of a phenomenon, you know.
But what really made him stand out was his pure honesty.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, and also, in the song, that's a lyric in a song, you know, and in one of my songs, you know, "You're Not John Lennon." I think that I was referring to the fact that, you know, just sort of don't be too serious, don't think too seriously about it. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
just
don't
be yourself. Yeah.
You know, you probably aren't like John Lennon, but it's all right. You know, just. You know, you is fine. Brendan Benson is
that's the one.
Is all right, you know. It's liberating when you finally have that, you know, realization. Like, oh yeah, I guess, you know, the Beatles, you know, they wrote. It's all been done. The Stones and, you know, the Kinks, and you know, and I can aspire to be like them, I suppose. You know, but at some point, I just have to be, you know, fine about what I do. You know, which is not even coming close to what they did, you know.
No, but I think when you don't try, then maybe you.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
When will your record with Jack White be released? Or?
I don't know. Probably not till later this year, or maybe even next year. It's it's finished
songs?
and everything, but
what kind of sound is it, or?
It's pretty much. I think, you know, it would be what you would expect. Yeah. It's. You know, there's Jack, who brought, you know, that sort of hard kind of blues, rock and roll, you know, side of things to the record, and then I think I brought like more melodic and.
But did you write together for the record? Or?
Yeah, we did. It was really cool. It was a real collaboration. You know, more of a collaboration than I've ever experienced before. I've written with a few people, not really. But this was it was a good one too, you know. We worked well together, I think. We kind of knew when to step back and let the other guy go, or you know. So, and it was, it was, you know, I think both fans of each other. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, just mutually, there's a mutual respect and admiration. So it was a piece of cake.
Okay, and will there also be a single or?
Yeah. Sure.
Can you?
I think it's called "Steady as She Goes." Is the single, but like I said, it's not out for a while, so
You have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.